Welcome here to the 2018 edition of the Michael Buhagiar Cup between top of the table YesNoWait and traditional sneakers into the finals Pumpin Booty. Sam Walton to bowl the first ball. Cabbage there, punching it out through mid-off. I'm joined here today by LMS umpire and league manager and general all-round comedian Andrew Loveday. His older brother Ben Williams couldn't make it for the coverage today, which is probably good for everyone. Right arm over the right arm round the wicket. My apologies to Greg Axon. We are here at Alamein Oval at the Royal Military College Duntroon. These two sides have met many times in LMS over the last 6 or 7 years. Last time they met in the grand final was 2 years ago when, outside edge there by Greg Axon, pumped down, Dave Sankey chasing that down to the boundary, picks it up. Oh, a little bit wayward, but back to the bowler anyway. Met 2 years ago in the grand final over at Hughes, Andrew, where Booty can absolutely spanked YesNoWait that day. Last year,
Same day.
On the same day, there you go.
100 runs.
That's a massive day of cricket for Booty to knock off what would have been the two top sides, I would have thought at the time. What we're looking at here as well is a bit of noise there coming through the wind. With the wind, I might get Andrew to stand a bit closer to the microphone. That way we can cover that wind as well, dude. So last year we saw Adfa win their first title of LMS, beating Booty in the day-night fixture here at Alamein. That was after Adfa had come from nowhere to beat Booty at Deakin 2-1-1. I think there was a late flurry in both innings in that game where 4 or 5 wickets fell. Booty again, proving that if you wear your uniforms, you will make finals, and your boys casing a pack of darts on the other side of that by
Yes.
not wearing their uniform.
They took plenty of pride in bragging about being the only team to have an undefeated record against YesNoWait, but missed out on finals through a lack of ordering their shirts.
Yeah, so remember, go to shop.lastmanstands.com and you can order your uniform requirements. Now, we're going to get a little bit of mucking around, I think, with this microphone here today, but we'll see how we go. A little bit windy here, breeze coming over the batsman's shoulder as it is now. Oh, that one, Snouter going up. Snouter, former captain of the Booty side, not leading them at the moment. I believe there's a court injunction that means that he can't lead the Booty for this year, but I could be wrong. That could be a gross exaggeration.
Is this the first Booty YesNoWait game in many years that doesn't involve Snout or Cheeks as captain?
It does. It is. In fact, Cheeky, the leading wicket taker in LMS in Canberra, he, up the wicket there, just punches it to a shortage mitt off there to Cabbage.
Talking about the fielder or his height there?
Yeah. But Cheeky hurt his back a couple of weeks ago. Hasn't been able to play in this particular fixture. We will bring up the scorecard in just a second and give you some ball-by-ball coverage as well. It's been an interesting week in Canberra, actually. If you talk about leadership spills, was this leadership spills? You know, was it actually planned this way to bump Cheeky out of the final? Surely. He
hasn't taken many wickets in recent weeks. They might have given him the boot.
They might. Pardon the pun, indeed. Oh, slash across the line.
Cabbage missed out on a full toss there.
Yeah, needing a bit of chalk on the end of that one for Cabbage. Just the one through. We have. We might do a little bit of live streaming of this one as well, but again, I think with the wind coming over our shoulders, that might end up being not giving us as
White call there by the umpire. Straight down the leg side.
Umpire Jacob Tumeth, looking resplendent in his new LMS kit.
Surely very honoured
there.
to be doing this final.
Absolutely.
He said this was his third straight Michael Buhagiar Cup final.
Third straight Michael Buhagiar Cup final for Jacob. That's fantastic stuff there. Played off the legs there, through mid-wicket. Carpy down, stops one. Good fielding in there. Oh, yes, pushing Cabbage back.
Must be very upsetting to not have your number one umpire do the last 3 grand finals.
Well, I have been disappointed not to be able to stand there. You're right, you are right there. But sometimes someone has to do the filming.
I meant James, to be honest.
You met James. Well, yeah, that's true. Number one umpire and league manager. So we've just got the live score up now. You can follow the live score from lastmanstands.com if you go to the fixtures link under and follow to Australia and Canberra. We're in Div 1 here. They're 10 after 2 overs. What do you think is going to be a total out here today, Andrew?
I was talking to Jacob. He's tactically set that leg side boundary at the moment quite short, in hopes that he can get some big runs here today. I'm thinking anything over 160 is going to be a little bit difficult for Booty to chase, given sort of history for them. But that being said, if Bender can get going, anything could happen for that Booty run chase.
That's true. Well, that's unusual for Sam Walton there. Sam's traditionally bowls his right arm over the wicket. And also interesting, I think, today is that they've decided to come from the southern end of the ground. Last week, Sammy bowled an over of, I think, some of the best bowling I've seen from him. To give guys a bit of an update, on this particular deck, on the southern end, there's a spot on a good length that will bounce up. We've seen offies putting balls over the shoulder, and at this end, where they're batting at the moment, the ball stays pretty low. Now, Sam bowled last week, slapped straight down the ground. It's now to come to that 4 bits there.
4 bits there for Cabbage, good shot.
The ball will stay reasonably low at this end. Now, Sam was bowling from this end and bowling round the wicket across the batsman from Adfa, and they couldn't get near him. They couldn't get, it was bouncing and swinging, and fine there was a little bit more wind, but I don't think enough to be impacting as much as it was. It was just a great spell of bowling. So I wonder whether he'll bowl 2 from this end and they'll save him for 2 for the other end.
I dare say they might. It's usually the tactic from Dane, from what I've seen this season. But that being said, that shot 2 balls ago from Cabbage is the first one that either of the batsmen have really gotten onto, so they might play it by ear, see how they go here.
Both these bowlers capable of taking wickets for not many runs.
They are. On a good day, Sammy Walton can be next to unplayable, really.
Yeah, and I think, though, when you look at both of these sides, though, there's some devastating batsmen in these lineups. Cabbage, traditionally Rob Wollaston would open with Axe. Rob apparently has a back injury.
He does.
But Cabbage certainly not a weaker replacement by any stretch.
Yes, by no stretch of the imagination would you call Cabbage a weaker option or replacement. Down at Duffy earlier this season, he hit 120, I believe, off about 50 balls. For a case and a pack of darts, no less.
Was that the same game that our Australian representative Hayden Page scored 100 as well?
It was, yes. Not to be outdone, Pagey blasted 130 in his own right. So that was a fun day in the field for 2 for 222, I believe.
A lot of, probably a lovely ball there. Cramped him up. Top hand coming off the bat there for Axe. There's a lot of talk, obviously, in the Canberra sort of network is, should they have taken a keeper in that Australian side? Now, I don't think you can fault the effort at all, but Australia certainly weren't the only one in the LMS World Series without a dedicated keeper.
No, they weren't, but I think that certainly cost the teams that didn't. Sam Lang certainly did a great job standing in for that back half of the tournament.
Oh, and listen, don't get me wrong, I thought Brodie also did a great job with the gloves. I saw a lot of guys online ragging on him for missing some catches and stuff, but I think he did more than a serviceable job behind the stumps. And
absolutely.
And they found roles, each of them, over the course of that week. Ooh, a bit too close for cutters there, I think.
Yeah, playing with fire there, Cabbage.
Speaking of Cheeky, there's Cheeky there. We'll get...
doing his typical lap of the ground.
To the ground, super coach there. We will get a bit of more motion in the camera. I'm just trying to get the live streaming up as well, lads. So we will get that going in just a tick. Start live video. So there we are. We're coming to you live now from Alamein Oval. It's me and
the gorgeous Andrew Loveday.
The gorgeous Andrew Loveday. Oh, we can't do it while we're doing that. So the gorgeous Andrew Loveday and me. Hi, I'm Pete Bowman. You'll recognise me from 1,000 videos this week. That's the man responsible for putting my face up all over our page this week.
As you called him, My older brother Ben Williams had the idea, but I was happy to help out with that little running gag there.
Absolutely. So we're live streaming. We're probably going to live stream for maybe a few more overs here, just to give you an idea of how things are going here in Canberra today for the
sensational
final.
grab from Dogger there.
Great catch from Matthew Webster behind the stuffs, as you said. Dogger's his nickname. Wide call from Jacob Tumeth. So yeah, here at Alamein Oval at the Royal Military Academy, we'll, as I said, live stream for about 5 overs. We've got the digital camera going here, all down the leg side there. Again, good feet from Dogger. He can be a little bit flat-footed sometimes with the gloves, but been keeping really well.
You can't fault his commitment to getting to any ball though.
No, you cannot. You cannot. He's also their Kiwi import for today, which the boys like to remind him when he's not doing so well.
Yes, they do.
But I think they'll be a little bit quiet after the Wallabies versus All Blacks game last night.
I dare say they might, Pete.
Yeah, so good over there from Snouter, Michael Grunhut. I uploaded this week the video footage from last year's final, and Snout knocked up a 43 in pretty quick time last year, where Booty were in all sorts of trouble. Regent was out early, Bender was out early, Dane was out reasonably early. Got through to 117 and took some wickets early doors, but Adfa came over the top in the end.
That's the other interesting non-inclusion from Booty here today is Rob Regent.
Yes, well, it depends on who you talk to.
Snout wiggling his derriere there for us on the camera.
He's not afraid of the camera, is Snout. Another wide call there from Jacob Tumeth. So
some great stretching there.
Great stretching there from
bowlers typically stretch before their spell, but I'm sure he's just keeping limber in his old age.
Yes, well, probably one of the older players in here, or if he not, at least looks like one of the older players in their side. All backwards square.
The salt and pepper beard suits him well.
The other player missing from last week's match, who I can't see out there, was Hamish Milliken. So, looking at...
He is here. I believe he's down at
there he is.
Deep mid-off.
Okay, so if we were looking at the end of this ball, that's a wide ball outside off stump, called by Jacob. Yep, good call. So we've got here in front of us, I'll try and go with the camera here, we've got, as I said, former captain and opening bowler Snouter. Next to him, we've got Bender, who is also one of their strongest bats. Then off in the distance, Hamish Milliken. Lovely pull shot there from Max, bread and butter stuff that for him. Hamish bowls some slow offies, a couple of cheeky arm balls, just from a significant higher point of view. Then over in the background there we have
Sammy Walton.
As I said, can be one of the most dangerous bowlers. He and Leng Boku, both, when they're on, were, I think two of the strongest bowlers in this competition. Unfortunately, coming from their height as well, when they're loose, there was a bit dispatched. Then you've got Dave Sankey bowling this over. Dave, a long-time veteran of the Booty clan. Right on over the wicket. Oh, and again, it's high and it's up and it's into the outfield. Oh, one bounce to Carpy out there. Just there. Also a reasonably handy bat. And then down the back there, Dane Clarkson. So another side, and obviously Matty Webster keeping for Booty there. Now, obviously, these guys bat to 8, as do the YesNoWait lineup. Now, the YesNoWait lineup to come in next, I think, is that Brock?
That is Brock O'Brien.
Brock O'Brien to come in.
I'm expecting big things out of Brock today. He popped into the cricket centre last week to get his bat re-gripped, so he's got no excuse not to get onto a few today.
Wow. I wonder if he had it, is that a new bat? Because I know that he busted a brand new GM
It is.
A little while ago.
It's the replacement for the one that he busted.
I have to say, I've seen a few busted bats this winter, and different people telling me, what it may or may not be. It has been one of the coldest winters I've experienced for cricket in the ACT. So lots of games where the temperature didn't get above 1 or 2 degrees, lots of starts at -5.
I certainly think that it's got a lot more to do with the colder weather, sort of creating that colder wood on the bat. Certainly not an ideal.
And I think if you leave your bat overnight in the car at -5, 6, 7, 8, and then bring it straight back out here to play, and flipped off the pads there. Big chase from Matty Webster there. That's a big long boundary down there. Matty's chasing to. Oh, yep, got inside. That's a good 70 metres down there on the straight boundary there today, on that end. I think, well, in fact, that's probably closer to 80 metres down there today.
I would not at all be surprised if, in the later game today, Jacob does not target that straight boundary when he's batting.
I would think that's probably the case. Yeah, it sort of looks a little bit like an egg out there today. Does the oval. Speaking of Hamish Milliken, Hamish in there, coming into bowl there now. Hello Cade Carr, welcome to the commentary. Hello Jordan Toomer, welcome to the Michael Buhagiar Cup final here for 2018. Oh, big hoik, and inside edge there, out to Dane Clarkson. What do you think's a good total here today, Andrew?
I think anything around that 180 mark is going to be very competitive. Booty are notorious for saying they can't score anything up over 160, so we'll see how they go with that today.
Lovely there from Hamish. As we said, this is probably suits him more this end, because the ball stays a bit lower.
It does. Although from the other end, it would have been about 2 months ago now, I saw Hamish take 5 wickets for, I think, 4 or 5 runs off his 4 overs against Adfa.
Oh, big full ball there, no ball called.
And that's into the reeds for 6.
Into the reeds for 6. It's expensive.
Could be expensive if we don't find that ball as well.
Wow, this is true. This is true. I think we bought a few spareys here this week.
I'm sure Dane will be able to find that bright orange ball standing in the
reeds.
The light brown reeds.
The only downside to that, of course, is the reeds over there, is that we had quite a bit of rain overnight. The forecast yesterday was actually for about 10 mils today, so I was a little bit worried about whether we'd get on today, but and then saw Dave Sankey saying online early this morning that there was no rain about, and I thought that'd put the mockers on us as well.
100%, that tends to be the case for Canberra.
Peter Dradrak joining us here for the live coverage there for the Last Man Stands Michael Buhagiar Cup Premier Division final here today. Welcome, Jaddy. Jaddy plays for the Polar Bears, but also a long-term player for the Woden Wanderers Cricket Club as well. Left arm swings it both ways and can bat, although Jaddy does like to tell blokes that he's not very good. I think that's part of his tactic. So
I think so.
Is that part of your tactic, Pete? Let him think that you're getting a bit older? I think that he's still a gun left-hander.
That's always my tactic, filling in for a new team, is I tell teams I'm in fact a bowler. Ensure myself a couple of overs, and that way it doesn't matter how I go with the bat.
Okay, so it does look like the ball's gone missing there, so umpire's just asked for a new ball. Box of spareys over there, so that's a little bit disappointing. Oh no, looks like they've found one. Well, they've found one. Whether or not it's the ball, we'll soon see.
There's every chance that's one that was put into the reeds last year.
Well, there was one that came out of there last year. Last week they pulled one out, and someone said, "Here, we could use this one." The ball weighed about 10 kilos. If I put that one into the mix, I would have been in all sorts of trouble.
I think so. You definitely end up with some broken bats there.
Draddy says I'm old. That's my tactic, and a valid tactic as well, mate.
That's my excuse. What's that make you?
Dude. So are you 20 yet?
Barely
20, and you're using that tactic already. Bloody hell. So there's there. They pulled something out of the mire. Not sure whether we've swapped that ball over or not, but just waiting for the boys to come back down there. So you're saying 180.
I am.
I kind of think, given the size of that boundary there, particularly, because I think in the second dig hitting into the wind, I think that we're looking, I reckon 160. 160. I mean, it's shorter down that side, but
if YesNoWait walk off with 160, Pumpin Booty will very much feel they're in the game today.
Well, I think you're probably right there too. So, Hamish Milliken coming into the bowl.
That 160 seems to be very much a mental side for the Booty batsman.
That's true. I mean, I guess that's one of the things though as well, is that they need their opening batsman, if they're going to chase a total against YesNoWait, they need their opening batsman to score their 50s quickly. Because what you don't want is to then get weighed down in the middle, and that's not disrespectful to the batsman who, welcome Marky Mark to the coverage as well.
Congratulations on that engagement again, Marky Mark.
Yes, congratulations, Marky Mark. 18 months, I think, until the wedding. I expect that you and I will be emceeing that wedding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Live streaming, commentating for sure.
Absolutely. I think we won't charge you too much, Marky. Probably just the bar tab. Well, actually, it might be cheaper for you to pay us cash. But anyway, that's
definitely going to be cheaper to pay cash.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a great shot from Max, straight to the fielder.
Yes, great catch there on the boundary from Dane Clarkson. That's a big wicket, the wicket there of Greg Axon.
That is absolutely shot off the bat.
Absolutely, he has flushed that out of the middle.
Might be a case to say that if he was using something with a full of back on it rather than that scoop, he might have got all of it into the reeds.
Well, there is that argument. I must admit, when those scoops came back out recently, I didn't know why people were flocking to them. It's a little bit of the old heritage factor there.
Cabbage certainly one to point out to Sam Lang that if he had a full bat, he might not get caught on the boundary so often, but then gone and bought one himself.
Welcome Scotty Benass and Magoo as well, and Liam O'Donnell to the coverage for YesNoWait versus Booty, Michael Buhagiar Cup. Tim Wilson, welcome mate, another one of our umpires. Oh, great work there, wave there from Snouter, right arm over the wicket. Oh, Brock O'Brien.
Big plane miss first up.
Yeah, he has been one of the most aggressive batsmen this tournament. Got out early last week, golden in fact I think.
Did he?
Trying to heave it down the ground.
He caught me 2 weeks ago on the boundary. I was very unhappy about that for 49.
Oh no, there was another one. There was definitely a massive edge there.
Drop catch there from Dogger.
Just chasing it down.
But putting in the second effort and chasing it down well.
Coming back for 3. Cabbage coming back for 3. What are you doing, old man? Oh.
He's been out of action the last few weeks. I think he's just making up for it.
Got some runs in the legs, you think?
Trying to cement his spot back in this side.
There we go. But, as I said to guys, we are live streaming this and we'll see how far I can go on this battery. But we're also recording it here.
Ronnie Sood there patiently waiting at the boundary to come on to replace Axe at square leg.
Ronnie Sood, I am in the process of editing his innings from the final of the Twilight comp earlier this year, where he hit a lovely 100 at O'Connor. Absolutely smashed the ball to all parts of the ground against Dilligaffs. Welcome Paddy McDonald. On shift, Paddy, or at home just relaxing and watching some LMS live, mate?
Big PMAC. I take a lot of enjoyment in the fact that he's one of the only 3 short players I've ever seen to get double played.
Double played, PMAC. Oh,
yes.
Geez.
The only reason I know that is because I did it myself.
Well, PMAC was telling me last week he's going off to play Social League Baseball. I don't believe it. I think he'll be back this year to prove, that he's got the gear. What do you reckon, PMAC?
100%.
Sood coming in.
PMAC, another one of those players who, when he gets going, he's very unstoppable.
Absolutely. Michael Weston, welcome to the coverage. I know that for anyone that hasn't watched Last Man Stands before, the next batsman in stands at square or at point. In this instance, we bowl 10 overs from one end to speed things up, and then 10 overs from the other end. 5 ball overs. Ben Broadhurst here coming in, left arm, over the wicket. Bender can be a deceptive batsman. Deceptive bowler as well. Oh, is it?
Oh, we found it.
We found it.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, no worries.
I've got a private message here from Cade Carr telling me to spice it up a little, Lovejoy.
Spice it up.
Getting a bit boring there in the hospital bed. That's a massive shot from Brock.
Massive 6 down the ground there.
I'm taking full credit for that one with the group there, Pete.
Yeah, yes, we've gone to the replay now. That was definitely 6. No.
Argument's there for it to be worth 12.
Absolutely. So, Cade, that's thanks for your feedback for Andrew to spice up the coverage, but he is under firm instructions not to. So you might need to find a different website for that. It's right arm, left arm, down leg side there, wide ball.
Absolutely.
By the umpire. Might Scudge, I think I'm talking to my kids. We might just get the coverage in there.
YesNoWait are 1 for 61 after 7.2. Just for those wondering at home.
Oh, jammed that out. So what's that, tracking at just over 8?
Just over 8 and over, yes. 8.03. Axe was dismissed for 31 there off 21.
31 off 21. That's one of those innings where he would have liked to go on. I mean, Axe puts in a 50 off 35. Oh, charging down the wicket there. Big swing and a miss. Bowling here from Bender.
Absolutely, he's notoriously quite difficult to get away.
He is. He's one of those bowlers though that sometimes you give him that extra over, and it was one over too many. I think he's definitely good for 2 overs.
Absolutely.
And that third over is a bit of a coin toss sometimes. He more than makes up for it in the field and with the bat, but
certainly one of the most energised fielders I've seen in last man stands.
Absolutely. So what was that score at the end of the over then?
That was
62.
Just give me a moment. It was 62 after 8.
62 after 8. So tracking along nicely.
Brock going at a run of ball 8 from 8.
8 from 8. That's unusually slow for him.
It is. He'll be looking to kick on.
Punched out there through point.
Typically about 6 balls off retiring, Brock is by now.
He is. He has had a few 15 and 20 ball 50s this year. Good support there from Bender. This ground looking a little bit rough this year. I think they've been playing more football on it during winter than what they have in the past. Traditionally this has been one of the best grounds for us to play on in the district.
Risky shot there from Cabbage.
There. One bounce. Oh, got past Bender. That's unusual. Doesn't normally get beaten in the field, but again, as I said, there's a few tufts of grass out there that make it a little bit difficult to pick up.
The only thing I've ever seen get past Bender this season was anything outside off from Jack Wilcox.
Dave Sankey right arm over the wicket again. Oh, lovely ball. Oh, down through bowler there. Hamish Milliken picking that up. Back in.
Ronnie stood patiently waiting there at square leg.
Oh,
big shot there from Cabbage.
Slap down the ground, 6 bits indicated there by Jacob Chairman, the umpire.
Sounded quite ordinary off the bat. I'd hate to see how far that would have gone if he actually got onto it.
Absolutely. It was very clunky off the toe there.
Big man Cabbage, he can certainly hit a long ball.
So we'll take this to the end of the 10th over, I think, guys, and then we'll go back just to the video, and then we'll come back to the first 10 overs of the second dig. Maxed out at 5 viewers so far. That's gone somewhere there.
Cabbage has lost control of that bat.
And that's gone for 4 behind square. 4 runs scored by the umpire. Wow. Ciao, Juddy. See you at 2:15, mate.
Booty, YesNoWait rather, a 75 for 1 after 9.
75 for 1 after 9. So you have to think, if they're going to post an 80 after an 80 plus after 10, then I think probably your 170 is on the cards.
They've certainly got the firepower to do it. I mean, Cabbage and Brock at the crease with Ronnie Sood and Michael Volter still in the shed.
Wow.
And Lukey Williams as well, mind you.
He's definitely an X factor with the bat, isn't he?
He is.
Kind of will either go bang or go bang.
He'll go bang or go bang straight down short off's throat.
Absolutely. Benny Broadhurst here coming in for his second over.
I remember the first game I ever saw Midge play, he
towed
to some poor bowler, took 5 sixes off his over at O'Connor, and then the next over they've given the bowler a second chance, and the first 3 went over the rope as well.
I think he's a bit deceptive like that. I think guys take him for granted and then he goes to town. Welcome Gaurav Gandhi to the coverage. Bit of a miss hit, high on the face of the bat. Cabbage is called for 2. Or misfield. Good backing up there from Sammy Walton.
Looks like Brock might have been 1 short there on the run, but we'll see what the umpires say.
So you don't tend to see 1 short called from the square leg umpire.
No, you don't, particularly in a final.
In a final.
Can't imagine that would go down particularly well with selector cheeks.
No. Oh, that's down the ground. Through mid-wicket there. Big chase by Carby, 4 runs.
Almost a golf type swing on that.
It was almost just a shortened up swing, punched it through. Gaurav from ADFA. Could have very easily been out here this week playing in back-to-back finals against Booty.
He could have.
Welcome, Dan Kerr.
Fun fact, Gaurav Gandhi, my only wicket of this season.
Oh dear, GG.
Caught on the boundary by Sam Lang.
Getting out to Gora, getting out to Andrew Loveday. Caught Sam Lang.
Off what Pagey described as right-arm gentles.
Oh! Quicker ball there, wide. Welcome, Dan Kerr, plays for Quality Crack. Also another lovely bat to watch when he's on. Did umpire him once this year when he was keeping that wall one right in the middle of the melon.
Dan Kerr did.
Yeah.
Where was his selection for the World Series? He's one of the better keepers going around Canberra.
That's true. There was a lot of calls from keepers. It does show, of course, how much people actually listen to keepers. Not a lot of trust in what they have to say sometimes is what they say.
This is true. Being a keeper myself, I was quite disappointed that there wasn't the selection of one.
Of one keeper. Ben Broadhurst again. We'll roll the fingers on that one. Oh, but that
very
has
well
opened the face.
Brock.
Lovely 4 bits there from Brocky.
Snout going to fetch there.
And that's 10 overs. So that's 10 overs of live coverage here from the first innings of the Michael Buhagiar RUOK Cup supporting RUOK and Lifeline. Please remember that asking RUOK is the start that could save a life. Start conversations with your mates that can help out. If you end up watching this coverage from overseas, I know in the UK they have opening up about cricket as well, which runs a similar sort of package as RUOK in providing the resources to help people out that are struggling.
One for 88 after those first 10.
We're going to finish up here after the first 10, 1 for 88. We'll go back to the video coverage. We'll return for the first 10 overs, or depending on how the match is, we might even do the last 10 overs of the match here live stream. But otherwise, we will try and get the footage up here for the rest of the match for later this week. So that's goodbye from me, Pete Bowman.
Goodbye from me, the gorgeous Andrew Loveday.
Gorgeous Andrew Loveday. And we'll see you shortly, lads. So,
Bender just adjusting the field here, thinking that a squarer fine leg is the order.
Okay, so we've changed innings. Changed ends. So Dave Sankey coming on. Oh, big swing and a miss there from Cabbage. So we were talking earlier in the innings about what a good total would be. You called 170 plus, I called about 160. Looking at an 88 after 10, keeping on that pace, I mean...
I think it's all going to come down to how this next 2 overs go. If Brock and Cabbage can both retire in these next 2 to 3 overs,
yep.
give Midge and Ronnie the most chance to get going, then that 170 plus is still very much on the cards. But
I don't know, we can... Oi! There's that spot we were talking about. However they've laid the pitch here, there could be, I don't know, an extra piece of glue underneath the carpet down there, but there is definitely a spot.
A few gremlins there, I think, were special ordered from Gaurav Gandhi.
It could have been part of their tactics. This is, yeah, a lot of off-spinners can find that spot, and that's the spot I was talking about at the start of the game. Sam Walton was hitting that spot just every ball last week, and swinging the ball away from the right-handed batsman and causing all sorts of trouble.
Yes, both to him and Lang Bookard, I've seen hit that spot. So the ball's on a good length, all of a sudden coming in your head.
Oi, and again, up. Apology for the bowler.
Brock wearing one there.
Yeah. Hands straight out from Dave. While Dave loves a chat, certainly not, wouldn't be intentional. Just heard there, sorry, mate. Will you wheel that one under the ribs? Dave bowls very seam up, so I think that certainly helps if you can find that spot.
It does. It can certainly nip around a bit off Dave's bowling on a good day.
Absolutely. Oh,
big
that
is
a big
Cabbage.
shot from Cab onto the bank there. That is a big hit there from the elder statesman of the YesNoWait clan. That's a great
Bender with a little smirk on his face, hoping to get caught on the live coverage there.
Yes, Bender definitely coming into focus there.
Did you want a magnifying glass in front of the camera just to pick up the height of young Bender?
Dude, you are the last one that should be talking about height jokes at all. So,
with the hair, I think I've got a couple of inches on Bender.
So, who I believe is the skipper today, Dane Clarkson, coming on the bowl now. Left-handed bat, right-handed bowler. Can't make up his mind what he is.
No, you can't.
But another guy who can be quite difficult to get away. Now, for those of them who will watch this in the future, last man stands, modified rules. So one of those rules is that bowlers can't bowl off any more than 12 metres from the stumps. 5 ball overs, maximum of 6 in an over. So if you bowl one wide, it's inside out, through a sort of wideish cover. Chase there from Dave Sankey with the foot, didn't quite get there. 4 runs called there by the umpire.
Very kindly pulling up just before the reads there.
Yes, but so maximum of 6 balls in an over for the first 19 overs. If you bowl one wide, it's worth 1. Any other wide in the over is worth 3 plus what you might score off it. Until you get to the final over. In the final over, all balls are re-bowled, but they're only worth 1, with the final ball being a home run ball. And that has certainly changed play. Down the wicket there, big swipe outside the off stump.
I believe you've hit a few of those home runs before, haven't you, Pete?
I've hit a couple of those home runs, got a bit lucky. I think that tactic of being the old fat slow bloke again has lulled a few bowlers into a false sense of security.
I might need to get you to teach me your ways after this game.
Oh, well, there's many things to be learnt. Oh, leans forward, smashed. Well, it's a great shot for 1. Straight out to Carpy out there at deep cover.
That tends to be the way in a lot of games that Pumpin Booty field in. That you get a lot of great shots for 1 as they tend to just put everyone straight out on the boundary immediately. It's
an interesting tactic, and I think the modification to the big shot straight there. Oh, that could be caught. That'll be a great catch if he got it. Oh, I think he got a hand to it. Great effort there, Sammy Walton. I should have probably got the camera around that, but I hope that talking you through that coverage, he dived Superman style, probably got one hand to it.
Dave helping him up there, congratulating him on the good effort.
It certainly was.
But Sammy a little bit upset with himself there.
Absolutely. But I've forgotten what I was talking about before, but that's a sign of old age as well.
I believe you're talking about the home run ball.
Ah, the home run balls.
Being able to hit a few yourself.
Ah, yes. Well, there is that. Who could forget that? Home run ball, though, I find it's a bit like a free hit. Guys, I think, tend to try and overhit the free hit and the home run ball. I
certainly had that problem last week, absolutely skying it here at RMC. And then went and got myself run out.
So to give you an update with the score here, lads, I think that was 107 after 12. I heard the umpire call out, but just waiting for my screen to refresh here. Ben Broadhurst proving me an absolute joke in commentary here today by coming on and getting a 3rd over. So the score is...
You did say earlier that 3rd over can be pretty costly for him, so we'll see how he goes.
He's already going at 10, so he's got to hope that that's not the case. So going through the bowling figures so far, Sammy Walton 2 overs, none for 13. Michael Growan hurt 2 overs, none for 10. Dave Sankey 4 overs, 1 for 35. Great spell of bowling there. I think he would take 35 against these guys. Hamish Milliken 1 over, none for 13. Left arm over. Wide of the crease, leans out, cuts that through backward point. Going back for second, misfield out there, lets them get through comfortably for the 2. Benny Broadhurst 2 overs, none for 20. Dane Clarkson 1 over, none for 7. So bowling there from Dane. Tracking at 8.9 and over. My wife just asking me a question online as well. So I'll get to that in a second. Oh, big swing and a miss there from Brock O'Brien. But yeah, I think with free hits and home runs, I think guys just have to play their natural shots. I think Adfa last week needed to score 2 sixes off the last 2 balls to win the game, and the first one was just a really smooth, easy flowing shot, and the second one he probably just tried to overhit it and got the inside edge. Or dances down the wicket again, feet all over the shop. They're calling 2. Cabbage has obviously said, like, we're going for 2s.
Cabbage certainly looking to up the run rate here.
Cabbage 42 off 27, Brock 27 off 20.
It's very slow for Brock O'Brien there.
If you're watching the live score at home and you're watching it on your phone, if you turn your phone sideways, you'll actually get the breakdown of 4s and 6s as well. Oh,
Brock's
that is
skied it. But that will
still
go over the rope.
Still hits at 80 metres there over the boundary. So that's a massive shot there from Brocky.
That's not bad for what looked like, technically, one of the worst shots I've ever seen in my life.
We do see a lot of runs scored here with Steve Smith-esque type techniques.
I am still waiting to see the tennis slap straight back down the ground on that 80-metre boundary there.
Oh, that's an offside. Just didn't hit the pocket there for Matty Webster. And they're scooted through for a bye into that over. Well, I suppose he'll take that. He's been travelling at 10s. He's still at 10s. 3 overs, none for 30.
Dane Clarkson coming on for his second over here.
Brock O'Brien, 35 off 23, 3 4s, 2 6s, striking at 152. Chris Tournier Cabbage, 42 off 27, striking at 155, 3 4s and 2 6s. So, Chris keeping the innings together, he definitely needs to get his 50. You would expect that Brock's going to. And then that really does open it up for that middle order. Or swing outside off stump.
Big thing here though for Brock is he almost looks like he's trying to hit the ball too hard. Played and missed it a few there. So he'd certainly be better off just playing his natural game. And, ball come, hit ball, I believe is the saying.
Yes, ball, hit ball. Yes, I've adopted that.
See ball, hit ball?
Yes, see ball, hit ball. I've adopted that policy and got out many, many times. Opens the face, glides that down through backward point.
Dogger wearing one in the mouth there. Off the return from Snout. Cabbage just saying if he's alright.
Good sportsmanship generally, I think across the board in last man stands in Canberra.
Absolutely.
Looks like he's okay.
Dogger, one of the tougher competitors going around last man stands Canberra.
Certainly has busted himself a few times diving for balls and playing.
Absolutely.
In general.
I umpired a game of his last year at Deakin. Quite a wet morning, and he's gone for a high catch at short mid-wicket, and he slipped over and busted his collarbone. Oh. But ever the tough competitor got up straight away and took himself off to hospital.
I had a mate of mine in a game, Matthew Morrison. I wasn't at the game, but I was told that did something similar, dived, busted his collarbone, got up, ran straight off the field and started running down the road from Deakin to Woden Hospital. And one of the lads chased him down the road in the car to put him in and take him off to casualty. He sort of said, "Oh, I figured I should probably just get on the bike." Matty's nickname was Monners, though, of course, after Monaghetti.
That might be a bit before my time.
Well, it was only a few years ago, but certainly, that wasn't actually an LMS game. That was a city and suburban game. But probably should expand on again. I guess Michael Buhagiar, who he was. I played against Michael in city and suburban. We remember him through this cup each year, and tragically, Michael took his own life after battling a long period of depression. Right, I'm over here from dancing. Oh, that's on the foot. That's out. Yes, that's plumb. Just chucks it back.
Two noises there though. Was that ball first or did he hit the ground?
No, I think if I've looked in the scoreboard here, it says...
it does say LBW, doesn't it?
It does say LBW. That tends to suggest to me that there was nothing more than pad.
That does.
And crashing into the stumps.
You are notorious for quoting that to me whenever I challenge your decisions. If you like to read the scoreboard, it still says wide, Lovey.
Absolutely. So yeah, Michael Buhagiar played against him a lot. I didn't actually play insides with him. In fact, he probably single-handedly took away from Mike, who clubbed the Woden Wanderers, a chance to go to 3 first-grade grand finals by just some real mongrel batting. What a lot of guys didn't know is that he'd had a long battle with depression. That unfortunately led to him taking his own life. We worked closely with his wife Tammy. He left behind quite a large family. We worked with Tammy over the years to sort of keep this competition going, to remind guys that there is help out there for people who are struggling. It's not just guys and girls struggling with depression. So we got in touch certainly with RUOK and Brendan Marr from RUOK and Carrie Leeson here in the territory for Lifeline Canberra, and they've been a massive help in us trying to spread the word. Oh, it's Ronnie Sood bowled first ball. My goodness, that is a massive wicket from Dane Clarkson. Wow.
what will that mean for the rest of the game, do you think, Pete?
Well, mate, that could be a pivotal thing. I mean, that is giving Booty massive confidence, I think, going forward. I mean,
absolutely.
We talked about the potential for stalling in the middle of the innings, and wow. I mean, seriously, wow, that is a massive wicket for Booty.
That is huge. The interesting thing I find here is they're sending John O'Miller out next. Do you think with the early dismissal of Sood, it might be better to send out the power-hitting Midge to make up for a bit of lost time?
There's still 7 overs to go, and Luke Hall coming out to bat now. I may have got that last name wrong. Luke Williams, sorry. My apologies, Luke.
I was a little bit confused.
Yeah,
who Luke Hall was.
I don't want Luke Hall. Luke Hall plays on Thursday nights, Wednesday or Thursday nights in summer.
My apologies, Luke, if you are a real player.
He's definitely a real player. If he's not, I'll add him into the system tonight. But no, that's not true. Oh, my goodness. Down leg indicated from the umpire there.
This is a great over from Dane Clarkson.
What an over from Dane Clarkson there, hey?
Very much the potential to be an innings-changing one there.
2 overs, 2 for 8 from Dane Clarkson.
So that's second over, 2 wickets for 1 run then.
Absolutely. Fantastic effort there. I think Lukey is the same as most of these other guys. Give him a couple of balls and he'll really push through. But this really puts the pressure on Brock O'Brien to get his 50.
Absolutely, and to get it quickly.
Absolutely. Benny Broadhurst coming on for his last over, so confidence from the captain. But just to finish up with RUOK and Lifeline, they do some fantastic work in the territory and around the country to Lifeline with their 24/7 crisis call centre. And RUOK, right, punched that out through point there.
Will that kick on for 4?
It has kicked on for 4.
Looks like Snouters Harbour bridged that one, and it's run away for 4.
So it takes Brocky to 40. But, he might have injured himself there as well, or could just be a little bit old. Oh, he might have rolled an ankle there, I think. I hope he's okay.
I thought at first that might have been his shoulder that he'd hurt, but
don't want to see guys.
Looks like the ankle.
Could be the ankle. Yeah, I think it is the ankle. Looks like he's going to try and run that off. I do hope that he can run that off. Hate to see any long-term damage. Snouter, another one who suffers a lot of injuries, but more so riding bikes, has had a number of major stacks over the front end of handlebars.
Silly habit that, really.
Yeah. But yeah, great work there from Lifeline Canberra and Carrie and the team. But Brendan Marr, they're currently on their around the country drive, taking the RUOK message to different communities around the country. They really are a resource site for people to find the different things that can help them out in the different age groups, pointing in the direction of other providers like Headspace, Black Dog, a lot of that sort of work. So we really are trying to encourage that and support that long term.
Brock going high there, that looks straight down Sammy Walton's throat.
That is a super catch, and that's another massive wicket here in the final.
Making up for that one that he dropped off. I believe it was Bender's bowling as well, last over off Brock.
That is a massive wicket. Now, no one to 50 yet for YesNoWait. 42 for Tournier, 31 for Axon, 40 for O'Brien, 0 for Sood. Lukey Williams and John O'Miller here. I mean, Jono's another batsman that can go bang and knock up a 15-ball 50. There's no problem with that at all. So I mean, 170 is still on the cards with 5 and a bit overs to go.
Absolutely. Although Kyle Zara coming out to be the replacement there at square leg. Kyle, not typically a recognised batsman in this YesNoWait lineup, rather.
No, but I have seen him clean hit some balls recently. Lovely, straight in behind, straight down the ground there for John O'Miller. So, looking at the score there, we're 124 for 4. This is the 15th over. I said that Dave Sankey's figures of 4 overs, 1 for 35 are pretty good. I think currently Benny Broadhurst is at 4 overs, 1 for 35, and is going to finish on that. So
Lukey snicked off there and dropped by Dogger.
Oh, snicked off and dropped. So it could have been 2 for 35, and I would have been eating my words, Benny Broadhurst. So well bowled, well finished up there, I think, mate. Ended up with 8.75 as the economy rate, bringing that down from 11 at one point. So that was good. Yeah, but we want to remember the great work that, as I said, RUOK and Lifeline have been doing around the country, all of these other great providers. For LMS Australia, we lost a great man in Anthony AJ Johnston earlier this year. And
great initiative from the Australian boys at the LMS World Series, wearing those black armbands the whole way through the tournament in AJ's memory.
Absolutely, and LMS International has set up a trust for AJ's girls. They're been trying to raise some money there to help his young family out. But again, you know, a lot of people didn't know the things going on in people's lives. So that asking that question, "Are you okay?" could be that one conversation that saves a life. So
absolutely, it's a fantastic initiative.
We'll get back to the cricket, guys, but you know, don't be afraid to ask it. As a mate of mine, Michael Brand, said to me once, "I'd rather ask you how you're doing and have you tell me to bugger off than not ask you and find out you weren't here tomorrow." So
absolutely.
Thank you for that, Brando. It's something that sticks in my head. Oh, that's way above the head. That's, oh geez, I would have thought that was a wide, but
it says dot ball in the scorebook.
Does say dot ball in the scorebook, and the umpire's told him that is your one over the shoulder. So listen, maybe it went through between his shoulder and his head, and just the angle we're on, we haven't been able to see that here.
That's true. So, Jono, a little bit like myself, not the tallest man coming around.
No.
So maybe Jacob's granting Dane a little bit of leeway there.
Absolutely, and I think that's the first time you've admitted you're short.
Oof, this is true.
Is this a sign of maturity? I'm not sure.
I've got my doubts. It might just be a blueprint fluke.
So, looking at this, this is what we talked about, slowing him down. We did talk about when Sooty got out for first ball. Dane has really bowled sensationally well in this little spell.
He has very much leading, well, that one going away for form, but Dane very much leading from the front here with his captaincy position with the ball.
Well, in the last 10 balls, there's only been 2 boundaries, and we've seen dot 4, dot caught, 1 dot, 2 dot dot 4. I mean, the run rate's come back down to 8.2. Now, I was listening to Rob Stevenson commentate who's LMS Australia, who looks after LMS Australia in Sydney, and one of the things that he brought up in his commentary was any team that is chasing 10 and under in this format thinks that there's still a chance.
Absolutely.
It's when it gets above 11 that it starts to become a little bit difficult. But I guess obviously with the home run at the end of the innings, you know, you can be right back in the hunt right up to the last ball. So
absolutely. I remember one of the very first LMS teams I ever played for being White Line Fever. We had a semi-final at Amaroo one day, netting 11 off the last ball. You know, in ordinary cricket you're written off, no chance whatsoever, but a bloke named Ant Lean punished the ball into the car park. Get us into the grand final the next week.
Well, this will be the test of that ankle. Snouter coming back on the bowl. Dane Clarkson there, 3 overs, 2 for 15 so far. Really has put the screws on the LMS, on the YesNoWait team in the middle of the innings. But I think that teams will think they're right in it at 11s. Big swing, Jono, and he's not happy.
Not at all. A little bit of a disgruntled expression there, but
as I said, Jono,
I'm hoping the microphone didn't pick it up.
Probably not from this far away, but the big thing with Jono though sometimes is he does try and overswing without moving those feet, but when he's a little bit more fluid, then there we go again. So takes a little bit off the swing, and he's fast enough to finish those 2s.
He did check his shot there though, which is credit to Jono.
But again, got that foot forward. Snouter doesn't look like he's limping, so that hopefully that he's been able to shake that off.
I think Snouter's going to play a pivotal role in this Booty run chase, being known for his potential to power hit and get some quick runs.
Absolutely, out through point there.
With the absence of Reja, I think a lot of the Booty boys like Snout and Dane are going to need to step up with the bat, which credit to them, they have done all season.
Absolutely, you would have to think that they would fall back to Broadhurst and Clarkson to open the innings.
The other one they've been doing is Broadhurst and Carpy.
Yeah.
Which has been a good combination for them. Although that being said, tight bowling can inhibit Booty's ability to hit runs. They played a game down at Duffy a few weeks ago where Bender took into his late 30 balls to get to his 50, and Carpy going at a run of ball sort of meant the Booty was stuck to about 120 total.
Yeah, tried to paddle that round the corner there, come off the pads, just out to a shortish mid-wicket there. That takes the score to 136 for 4 after 17 overs. So, yeah, wow, my 160's looking...
It's looking a lot better than my 170 plus, just quietly.
Yeah. I mean, don't discount YesNoWait here, though.
Absolutely not.
Seriously.
I mean, the 4 batsmen they've got left, you know, you'd happily take as your top 4 in any LMS side.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think if you look at their bowling lineup, though, as well, I mean, they are missing Cheeks. Now, as I said, Cheeks hasn't taken as many wickets this year, but he's still taken over 300 wickets in this format. And
he has. And he's economical.
Absolutely, and can dominate a game. I think that...
his experience as well in the field.
Leans back on that lovely cut shot out there. 4 misfield, 4 runs.
Some ordinary fielding down on that that far boundary from the Booty boys has led a couple of boundaries through the legs and running over the top of them.
Yeah, and I think Sammy won't be happy. Now, this is that end that I was talking to you about earlier. If he can find that spot and bring that ball across... Well, I think so. I think Jono's likely to probably come underneath the ball in missing it, but he does love the cut shot. There you go, punches it down the ground. Benny Broadhurst chasing over for that one.
That one looked like it
left arm
jumped up a little bit, hitting the bat quite high on the bat for Jono.
Absolutely. Takes Jono through to 18 off 13, so that's a little bit better from his point of view. Lukey Williams still on 0 off 2 balls, so a fair bit of farming going on here from...
there is. Jono's come out and told him, you stay down there, champion, I'll see this one home.
Absolutely, and you're kind of thinking if that was the case, then yeah, maybe Midgie Volta coming out early was the right idea. Just waited on that, but still only the one down there through a wideish mid-off. One ball to come in this over. No wickets for Sammy Walton this week, and listen, he does bowl sometimes without getting the wickets, and I think that frustrates him. But
you know, you've probably put the mocker on Lukey, who's about to get cleaned up by Sammy.
Sorry, Luke, if that happens.
This is commentator's curse.
Well, that's also right arm over the wicket there, which is unusual, as I said again, for Sammy. He traditionally bowls around the wicket, and particularly at this end, to find that spot.
Absolutely.
Just at length. So 2.4 overs.
Although the commonness of the thinking bowler in modern times has dropped off a little bit.
Maybe the wicket down the ground.
Oh, Lukey skied that one.
Skies that one. Oh, that's 6 bits.
And Hamish made a meal of that and dropped it over the boundary for 6.
Well, I think it was already over. I'm not sure that he would have, even if he'd caught it, he wouldn't have been able to keep that one in. But
interesting attempt with the chest mark, though, I must say.
It's always easier for us to make those calls from up here.
Absolutely, being normally in the umpire's position and commentating today, it's very easy to say that I'd do something a lot better.
So
in reality, I 100% wouldn't.
2 overs to go here, 149 for 4 off 18. We're in the second power play, so the power play's now run for the first 4 overs and the last 2 overs of an innings. That means they can set up a field of 4 and 2. Oh, that's skied.
Skied there from Jono, and Snout takes that one pretty comfortably.
There from Snout. Yes.
If he dropped that, he no doubt would have the bow tie on going for the rest of the game.
I saw the president of my club posted this week that cricket's not far around the corner. Maybe someone could learn their catching skills by juggling a few balls. Well, does that count?
I think so, although he seems to have indicated to his teammates he used his chest and elbow to secure that one comfortably.
So let it settle into the flat.
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, that's the order of the day for the middle-aged man that was on the beers till early in the morning, I dare say.
So that's 5 wickets down now. Brings Kyle Zaru to the crease, and Midgie Volta, who we've talked about before, walking out to square leg.
Midgie opting for the beanie rather than a helmet.
Swipe.
Another indication of those cold Canberra days, although today's not too bad.
I've got to tell you, today's delightful, mate. I'm only wearing two shirts. I don't have a jumper and a polar fleece on, so I'm. Last week was horrendous for how cold it was. It didn't get above 1 degree. I think feels like. Oh, 2 dot balls. These dot balls are going to be costly here late in the dig.
Absolutely.
This is where I think a lot of guys coming in, they're trying to force the ball too much. You kind of almost want to come at the ball and just try and get something on it and get through for a single, I think. And just keep ticking the scoreboard over.
Particularly with batsmen of Lukey Williams' calibre in on-strikers and mid still to come.
Absolutely.
You're almost better off just trying to get something on it, taking a run. And if you do get run out, it's not completely the end of the world.
True. And that's a wide ball there. takes the score to 150. 2 more balls left in this over. Lucky Williams 6 or 4. Oh, punch that down the ground. That's out to Benny Broadhurst. Just the 1 there.
Hit that quite aggressively for 1, I think. Sort of cementing that point I was making earlier about good shots in LMS against Booty. Can only go for the 1 with that 6 fielders on the boundary from the get-go.
Absolutely. Oh, big swing and a miss. Oh, it's through the keeper. He's called him through. Direct hit will get him. Oh.
Oof. Do they go for the 2?
Ooh, back
overthrows.
for 2.
Cheeky screaming out in frustration there from the Booty, from the YesNoWait camp, rather.
Yeah, 2 buys there.
I've got to work on my ability to get these teams right. Keep throwing to YesNoWait as Pumpin Booty.
And it is your rookie appearance here for LMS coverage. So
it is. I earlier this morning sent former Canberra league manager a message, James Condon, saying to watch the live stream because I was calling myself the Australian Nick Compton.
Australian Nick Compton. Nick did a lot of commentary during the LMS World Series.
He did.
I believe from the Australian blokes that he is a top bloke, so he can do whatever he likes in commentary as far as I'm concerned.
That's very true.
Last over of the match here, the innings. Here we go.
Well, Sammy just getting in the way of Lukey there as he scuttles through for that 1.
Well, I think he held his line. I'm not sure that he deliberately blocked, but I think there's that spot again, straight past the batsman. Scores 154 at the start of this over, or 153.
If they get to that 170 plus, that'll be very impressive.
I think so. I think probably looking at the 2 guys that are in currently and the way they've been batting, you kind of think that 160 is probably the mark, but again, big hoik there from Lukey.
Big hoik for a dot.
6 off 6 for him. Great bowling here from Sammy Walton. Taking you through those bowling figures, Michael Groenholt, 4 overs 1 for 16. That's amazing in a grand final. Dave Sankey, 4 overs 1 for 35. Hamish Milliken, 1 over none for 13. Benny Broadhurst, 4 overs 1 for 35. Dane Clarkson, 3 overs 2 for 15.
2 for 15 is a instrumental part of this Booty innings. I think those
pushing for the second
overs
here.
Those overs from Dane really turned the tables on this YesNoWait batting lineup.
Absolutely, good running there from the boys. Actually, I'm not sure that there was 2 in that, but I do see that Snouter is limping a little bit out there at the moment. So
Lukey does like to take a lot of 2s. I've seen many a batsman get quite the workout batting with Lukey.
Around the wicket. Just pulled that for a wide. No. Right, so by my estimation, this makes this the last ball of the innings. So this is the home run ball.
How do we feel? Are we thinking it's going to go clear the rope, or Lukey going to play and miss like he has the last couple?
With all due respect to Lukey, I think the way that he's been swinging, I can't see it happening, but
if he does connect with how hard he's been swinging,
absolutely.
It's going to go.
He's pulled that one across through to Milliken there.
He's almost yorked
well
himself
down,
on that
they're
one.
going back for 2. Easy 2 in the end. So at the end of the innings, 158 for 5 off 20. Go through that batting line up there. I don't know if you can see that there, Andrew.
Yep, so we've had for this innings Chris Tawney 42 from 28, Greg Axon 31 from 21, Brock O'Brien 40 from 28, Ronnie Sood with a first ball duck getting cleaned up by Dane Clarkson. Lukey Williams finishes 10 not out from 9 balls. John O'Miller caught and bowled by Snout 19 off 15. And Kyle Zaru 2 off 5 there at the end, not out.
So the key bowlers there, I think, were definitely Dane Clarkson, the skipper, with 3 overs 2 for 15. Benny Broadhurst and Dave Sankey picking up 1 each for 35. Michael Snouter Groenholt, though, seriously the best I've seen him bowl for a while now, but 4 overs 1 for 16.
Don't
seriously.
say that too loud. He'll put a big post about it on the Pumpin Booty Facebook page.
Seriously, if they win today, I think we'll see something anyway. So,
did you happen to see what he put up this morning?
No, I didn't.
It was quite an interesting little spiel, sort of going on about their chances for today, saying, "Today we are gladiators. Today we middle-aged men transform, guts sucked in, chests pumped out. For 120 minutes we wield swords of willow, sling maces of stitched leather. We enter the grassed coliseum on the grandest of stages, with dreams of victory and fears of failure. Be it cheers or tears, today we are gladiators. Go Booty.
Yeah, that's so poetic from Snout.
It is.
We might just pause the commentary there for a second. We'll get on the other side of the camera and give you a bit of a breakdown on what we think is going to happen, and we'll call in the umpire and see what his thoughts were on the day so far.
So Jacob, umpiring that first 20, how do we think it's gone?
Yeah, I think it went alright. YesNoWait boys probably didn't go as hard that second half that they should have. Probably didn't take advantage of the small boundary.
That second over from Dane Clarkson almost seemed instrumental there for Pumpin Booty, getting them back in the game.
They were two absolute pearl of balls. They were probably unplayable by any batsman.
Now, the question we have is, Pete thinks Cabbage was plum. I think he hit it.
Nah, he smashed the ground.
He smashed the ground, has he?
Smashed the ground, it was pure pad.
Pure pad.
Right in front of middle.
Fantastic. And how do you think this Booty run chase will go? Who's going to be the key batsman there?
I reckon Ben Broadhurst is going to have to get off to an absolute flyer. Get them all started and get them up and about, and then hopefully the rest of the boys can carry on.
Fair enough. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Jacob. And, who's your prediction?
I reckon YesNoWait have got the bowling attack to defend this, but Booty will give it right to him, I reckon.
Right to him? Fantastic.
Sitting on the fence there, umpire, well played.
Far less biased than I would have been. I'd be backing in 3 short from here still somehow.
3 short for the win every day of the week. They've always got it.
Every day of the week. Sam Lang's got to have some involvement in the Michael Buhagiar Cup final.
We miss you, Sammy. Come back.
Yep, good.
Interesting comments there from Snout in the break, saying that the Pumpin Booty tactic is to simply just get one more than YesNoWait.
Listen, I think that's an amazing piece of tactical brilliance.
I think
that's him just over there, walking away with one of his children.
Fun fact for YesNoWait is they have a 100% win rate against sides that they score more runs than.
That is a fun fact.
It is.
That could go down as your quality piece of commentary for today. Greg Axon opening the bowling here. Oh, Lukey Williams.
Lukey.
Oh, misfield there
that
early.
4 in front of selected Cheeky.
Wow.
Surely Lukey will not be included in YesNoWait's next game.
Well, you don't know. But the use of Greggy Axon, this is a piece of Sam Lang brilliance, I think. Is we saw this at the Nationals over the last couple of years. He was doing it with his keeping pads on. He would come out and bowl, and he was picking up 1 and 2 wickets a game. It was outstanding. I don't know where Sam Lang gets it from. Some people say it's the hallucinogens in the KFC. There's no hallucinogens in KFC. I think it's just for him. It has that effect on him.
It's definitely something in the herbs and spices.
It's the nugs, isn't it?
It is.
It's in the nuggets. Yeah.
Big fan of the nugs. Umpire Jacob Tumith brought a 24-pack of nugs with him before today, the KFC special, and served him well. I had to pinch a few. Let's
hope it's not having the same hallucinogenic effect as it does on Australian captain Sam Lang. Opening the batsman here, Benny Broadhurst, and I think you called it correctly. I think that's Carpy down the other end.
It is Carpy there.
Across the line.
Smoked it, and Kyle Zaru running right over the top of that.
My goodness. Oh, look at that over there.
Doing the...
That Cheeky has just paused and dropped the shoulders on that one.
Kyle doing the interesting tactic of running over the top of it and then letting Midge go chase it up the embankment there.
Yeah, I think that we'll get a bit closer in on the coverage here. We were zoomed out for the interview at the halfway.
Interesting square leg tactic from Hamish here, sitting down. Is that just to get that lower angle on those run-outs and stumpings, do you think?
Well, it's going to cost him 5 runs if he gets hit, I can tell you that much. So...
Absolutely. Greg Axon taking the gloves back now.
Yep. Midgie Volta.
Coming on the bowl.
Left arm over the wicket.
I tend to describe his bowling as left arm unplayable on a good day.
I have seen that many a time. I think he's one of those guys that you really have to just play it as it comes. Don't try and premeditate or you will end up with losing your stumps just like that.
Just like Carpy has there.
Wow. Sorry, Carp. That was commentator's curse definitely there.
Absolutely. That looks like it has hooped a mile. The shape that Carvey's taken to play the shot and where the ball's ended up, two very different positions.
Absolutely. So there's two ducks in the in this match already, and
Power hitter Sammy Walton coming out to square leg now.
so Hamish Milliken up the order. So Dane's obviously elected to come in a little bit lower down the order. Puts a
Reverse the batting order, you might say.
Well, I think, you know, in a previous life that might have been the case.
Maybe he got into a few of those hallucinogenic, sorry.
Yes, it's the love of food that creates that that sort of adrenaline kick.
It is.
For the Nuggets, yeah, obviously. But,
you can't go wrong with 24 for $10 though, can you? The cheapest hallucinogen that you'll ever come across.
Legal too.
Legal, exactly.
Legal, absolutely. Left arm over the wicket here, Hamish Milliken. Oh my goodness. And where we talked about, like you're talking about Midgie being unplayable, I think that
survival's almost the key here.
Absolutely, he can absolutely hoop the ball. Now he's not the tallest of medium fast bowlers, but he has good control on that. Oh, and again. And I was trying to say before is a lot of guys, they try and force the shots on him. I think you really need to look at dinking him around to start.
Absolutely.
Just try and pick him off for ones or twos, because that's going to frustrate the bowler. Any medium fast bowler, they always want to know that they're not scoring, you know, having runs scored. But if you dink him around, then he's more likely to give you that one that's a little bit looser. And again,
the other key might be just coming out of your crease a little bit to minimise that amount of swing that he will generate.
Absolutely.
He does get a lot, and particularly quite late in the deliveries when that ball will start to hoop from Midge.
So at the end of that first over, where were we? We were 11 off the first over.
I'll be interested to see how Bender handles the left arm here. He
lefty to lefty, two cheats at it.
Absolutely.
That's unfair. Lovely ball there, can only punch it straight back to the bowler.
Typically seen Bender not necessarily struggle, but not be his aggressive self against left-arm bowlers so far in this tournament.
It's true. Do you know the other thing that I've noticed with Bender as well is when he bats with Robbie Regent, he bats with a lot more abandon. And I don't know whether that's, you know, like when you go and play golf with a guy that's a lot better than you, and you tend to play up a little bit. Now, Ben's a good bat.
I can't say I ever have that that luck with golf.
Well,
the boys at Ginninderra can probably attest to that.
Well, we're looking at 13 after 2.
Brock O'Brien is getting nudged away for one there. Or nugged away for one even.
Nugged? Oh, geez, if we could might end up with a sponsorship deal out of this if we keep this going.
Wouldn't Sammy be disappointed moving away to Queensland and then we get the sponsorship deal from KFC?
Well, he would be. But let's see what we can do. So the run rate required at the moment is 8.1. Now, as we talked before, any team in LMS is thinking if the run rate's still 8,
they're still in it by that Rob Stevenson theory.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So, across the line there on the back foot.
I'd tend to agree with that. To be fair, that anything under 10 and over tends to be... Teams will think they can do it.
Absolutely, they can. So, I think that, currently running at 6.2, nothing to worry about here. I think what they have to do is just tick it around, keep that score going over. Oh, there we go.
Brock has absolutely skittled Hamish there.
2 stumps out of the ground. 2 early wickets. Rocky O'Brien as well. He's a funny guy. He's one of the zippier bowlers. Certainly probably the fastest in this lineup, I think, for YesNoWait.
Absolutely.
Gets it to come off the seam. But when he's off...
he's very cardable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got that opportunity to get the bigger runs. I think that, looking at their lineup, Lukey Williams can bowl a bit. Kyle Zaru, another guy who, when he's on, not quite in the same unplayable category as Midge, but certainly, gets the ball on and about, the line, and it can be quite difficult to get away.
The other one, Cabbage.
Oh, absolutely.
High grade bowler.
Yep. Depends on whether
he's retired now through old age, but still has the wisdom when he gets fired up.
Absolutely. Right on over the wicket here again for Brocky. Oh, and another!
Skittled Sammy Walton.
Oh, wow.
That'll bring captain Dane Clarkson to the crease.
Wow. Bowled O'Brien. So this is 2 bowlers on 2 hat-tricks in this game. Must admit in the commentary, we must have missed the hat-trick delivery. I don't know whether that went across overs.
That was No, that was the one that hit Lukey Williams on the pad first up. Jacob decided was going down the leg.
Yes, he did say in the break.
He said in the break that it was very close to
being out. Yes. So Brocky O'Brien there, bowled. Wow, an amazing start. So the first 10 balls of the match, well, there's 14 balls gone, but the last 10 have been 4 bowled, ... 1.11 bowled. So
surely survival is the order against not just Midge but now Brock as well.
Absolutely. What we might have to do here,
captain facing the hat-trick ball,
is we'll bring up the live coverage here, lads. A hat-trick ball here now for Brock O'Brien to Dane Clarkson, the skipper. Oh, look at that! He's fended it off.
Danos has moosed that back to Brock.
We were going to come back. We probably only do a brief one here at the moment and see how the live coverage goes. But just to give you an idea for those guys coming into the live coverage, is Pumpin Booty finished on one.
YesNoWait rather.
Sorry.
Finished. You've caught my disease there.
I have caught your disease. They finished on 150, I think it was.
I believe so. I'll just get the exact score up now.
No worries. What we've seen though is coming out to bat. So Booty versus YesNoWait here. So
the live scoreboard playing tricks on me. Doesn't want to load just yet.
Okay.
That's probably just my slow internet connection though.
Could be. Midgie Volta.
Oof.
Through the keeper. Yep, that has run away for 4 buys there.
So YesNoWait finished 158 for 5 after 20.
So there you go, 158 for 5 after 20.
With Chris Tournier and Brock O'Brien leading the run scoring there with 42 and 40 apiece.
One of the big things in that YesNoWait innings for those guys on the live score was that no one got a 50. And
very unusual for a YesNoWait innings.
Absolutely, and it was kind of, it was odd. The wickets were sort of, I won't say necessarily being thrown away. There was some really good bowling in there, but a couple of interesting shots, I think, to get out.
Questionable, probably the word to
describe.
Probably
it. Questionable. That's it. We just came to the live coverage there because Brock O'Brien was on a hat trick. There was a hat trick in the previous innings. Then down up there from Benny Broadhurst.
This is a fantastic spell of bowling from Midge and Brock.
Absolutely. Well, these two used to be the opening pair for Pumpin Booty. So the pressure really is on both of these guys now to get 50, and they're going to have to be quick 50s, and they're going to need to rely on their other batsmen to get them out. So
the ones that they have left anyway, having lost 3 already, I believe.
Absolutely. So we've seen Carpy go.
We've seen Carpy, Hamish and Sam Walton all go for
I think 2 ducks in there.
2 ducks. They haven't troubled the score as much at all so far, the dismissed batsmen.
No, but if we look at last year's final, I think that Booty were in a similar situation, and Snout stepped up and got 40 odd. We know that these 2 blokes, you've got Dave Sankey and Snout still in the bank.
If there's one thing that Pumpin Booty are good at, it is getting to that 160 mark, regardless of how well or how poor they seem to be going from the onset.
Absolutely. Wonderful delivery there from Midge Volta there as well. 2 lefties out here to bat, so that makes it a bit easier in the field as well, so you're not having to chop and change what you're doing in the field. I don't think we sort of went through the lineup there before, but if I kick the camera, that was a bit slack. So if I go here, we've got Lukey Williams here. Let's let him come into bowl here.
Talking earlier about that bowling lineup that YesNoWait have. The other key one's going to be Ronnie Sood. When he's on, he can turn the ball around corners really.
Absolutely. Welcome to the coverage, Shane Marcus Hansen. You've missed 3 wickets falling already and a potential hat trick for Brock O'Brien.
Shay Hansen, the self-described best Jewish cricketer in Canberra.
He is the self-titled best Jewish cricketer in Canberra, true, and I've not had anyone else come back and disprove that to me yet, so I'm going to stick with it. So Lukey Williams here, then Kyle Zaru, Chris Tournier, Midge Volta, Brock O'Brien bowling. Over on the deep fence there is John O'Miller, right arm over the wicket now. Big swipe across the line, that's going to be 4 runs.
4 runs there.
Lovely shot there from Bender.
Kyle will chase that one up the embankment.
He will again. What we're going to see here, so I got to John O'Miller at the back and then Ronnie Sood down in the deep there at backward point.
Greg Axon and Lukey Williams as well finishing off that 8.
Yes. True, that's right. I think I started with Brock and Axe. So, we almost dropped the phone. So we won't stay terribly long with this live coverage, but we'll come back certainly for the last 10 overs of the match.
Oh, that's
gloved
off
it.
the glove.
Backward of square. You've got Matt Webster there at square now. So Shay, we're probably going to ditch the coverage at the end of this over, but we will come back, as I said, post this. You'll be due at the ground here anytime soon anyway.
Let's hope he's not streaming and driving.
Indeed. It's never safe to stream and drive. Oh, lovely shot there, full face of the bat, through mid-off, mid-volta.
Dane Clarkson rocking that floppy white cap there.
Absolutely.
Don't see too many blokes coming out to bat with that broad brim anymore.
Greg Chappell, certainly not with the wind behind.
Yes,
The wind still has changed direction slightly, so it's not coming across the batsman so much now as across the wicket. It was coming over the shoulder of the right-handed batsman. Good two there for the boys. They're going to have to push those. They know that. They've got to put the pressure on the YesNoWait team. So, just moving along there in the wind. The breeze is picking up. So it's coming now probably over the bowler's left shoulder there, I think. Full shot there.
Almost seemed like the effort ball there from RUOK.
Yeah, pick up there from Lukey Williams.
Much cleaner fielding than what we've seen from some of the other boundary fielders so far in this game.
Absolutely. So we'll end the live coverage there until we get to the 10 over mark, and we'll switch over and we'll go from there. But yeah, stick with us, lads. As we said, so chasing 159 to win Pumpin Booty against YesNoWait in this 2018 edition of the Michael Buhagiar RUOK Cup, supporting Lifeline, Canberra and RUOK.
Booty are now 31 for 3 after 5.
Booty 31 for 3 after 5. So
going at they're currently going at 6.2 and over, requiring 8.5.
Requiring 8.5, so that'll be well in the hunt. Big swipe across the line there from Ben Broadhurst. Cabbage coming back to that. Dane Clarkson interested in the second. Bender not even looking at him.
Might have something to do with that Bender not playing the left-handers particularly well.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have thought that coming into this game, but you've made a pretty good point. I think that Bender's probably trying to see him off there. Trying to turn that round the corner there was
but I mean, can you blame Bender there? Mitch quite a difficult bowler to face in a high-pressure situation.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think this is where we talk about these two sides. They've been in the top 3 sides. Outside of 3 short, these two are the most consistent and longest playing sides in the comp. That one has kicked off a length. Well, he's called it a dead ball, hit the middle of the pitch.
The interesting thing about both of these sides is neither have beaten a case and a pack of darts this season.
Do you really want to get them into the coverage? You know, that much this year. Will we see a case and a pack of darts back again, or was this sort of?
You'll have to ask Jack on that one. I've committed myself to the Cougars for the summer season.
Oh, okay.
That being the branch of the STC Pumas, not the ad for Cougars.
No,
I don't think I quite have the physique to fit into an ad for lineup.
Oh, so have are you changing clubs? So you're ditching turf this year and moving to City and Suburban?
Just playing LMS for the Cougars over summer.
Jeez, mate, that'll be a little bit like training for you. That's a surprise. Left arm over the wicket here now from Midgie Volta. Oh, playing a miss. Again,
training can never lead to anything good.
Well, you and I will agree to disagree on that, but I think again, we've talked about people trying to be too cute with Midge. I think you've got to come at him and then get some bat or some pad or something and just push him around, because what's that, 2 or 3 balls now where he's just tried to flick him away. Well, the worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to edge it through to Axe.
I've got my doubts Axe is dropping anything snick through to him.
I have seen it happen. I've been here when it has happened, but you're right, it's not likely to have happened.
One of the safer pairs of hands going round.
There we go. Back to, big pickup, and
another contender for that World Series keeping position, Greg Axon.
Oh, absolutely.
He's even got the rankings to go with it.
Yeah, he's a guy as well. I will actually, what you can do, one of the really good things about the live scoring is you can actually click on the players and then get their profiles up. So I'll just click on Greggy, but he would be, I think, the second highest run scorer in the country. So Greg's gone past 10,000 runs in LMS this year. Now, he scored the majority of those runs here. Greg's been off to a World Championships in Barbados. He's been up to the Nationals the last couple of years, but 10,343 runs at 67.6, having this will be his 284th game today. So
he's got well over 120 50s to his name as well.
Absolutely. Kyle Zaru coming on the bowl here now. Straight down the ground, 4 runs there for Dane Clarkson. That's what they needed here for the Booty, just to sort of keep on top of that. So his batting ranking is 122 in the world, is Greg. One of the things that we'll probably need to sort out at some point is a keeping ranking in here, because he's certainly, I think,
He'd be high up there.
It'd be a toss-up between him and Rijo, I think, for top keeper in Canberra.
Absolutely. I think as far as rankings are concerned, Axe might have him based purely off
the additional runs.
More games played in the additional runs, but as far as talent's concerned, it could be an interesting contest. Rijo obviously having
that one stayed lower.
Skittled.
We talked about this end being the end that stays a bit lower. He's gone onto the back foot, and that has come through lower. So
Sam typically tends to stay down low, and Kyle seems to have baited Clarkson into a false shot there.
So 37 for 4 after 6.2. The run rate currently is at 5.7. They only need 8.9. They require 122 of 68 balls. Now, Snouter coming out. It's about Matty Webster's batting now. Snouter coming in after that. Looking at coming over to our right here is the
Polar Bears extraordinaire, Peter Draddy.
Polar Bears and Wanderers extraordinaire, Peter Dradrak, who was watching the live feed earlier today. He might even join us in a little bit of commentary here if we're lucky. Pete, 37. How are you, Pete Dradrak?
I'm good.
Mate, welcome to the commentary team. 37 for 4, chasing 159, mate. What do you think?
Well, I just walked by the boys over there. They're still optimistic.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Pumpin Booty typically always are, despite what facts may seem to indicate.
Yes, I did see a stump just spear straight out of the ground over there.
There's been
thought
a few
the wicketkeeper was going to catch that.
I thought Axe might cop a bail to the eye.
So Kyle Zaru coming right up over the wicket to Matty Webster.
Kyle almost seems like he's bowling with a few extra Ks when he's bowling today.
Absolutely. Big hoik across the line there from the Kiwi contingent.
Yeah, thanks for putting on the good weather, boys.
Yeah, we organised this early ahead of time.
Yes, it's all about booking with ACT weather, isn't it?
Absolutely. I
And
believe
negotiation skills.
The weather's not run by ACT government. It's a Commonwealth initiative, so we were lucky given the turmoil on the hill this week to...
I thought it was some tribe up in the Bindies that decided what we copped down in Canberra. Yeah,
numbers, right?
It could be.
Absolutely.
Ben Broadhurst across the line there. So it takes the score to 39 after 7. Ben Broadhurst 29 off 15. Alistair Atkinson 1 off 2. Hamish Milliken 2 off 5. Sam Walton 0 off 1. Dane Clarkson 6 off 10. Matthew Webster out there 1 off 2. So bowling figures Greg Axel 1 over 9 for 12. Reggie Bolton 3 overs 1 for 10. Rocco Ryan 2 overs 2 for 11. Including Wills being on a hat-trick. Kyle Zaru 1 over 1 for 6. So you've got to put YesNoWait in the driver's seat again now. But
You do. They've certainly clawed their way back after an interesting finish to their batting innings.
Lukey Williams right on over the wicket now. Oh,
Lukey Williams, another underrated bowler in this YesNoWait side.
He'll be really keen to get some wickets here after what was happening with the bat. Just couldn't quite get it going today with the bat. Then he squeezed that out through back and square there. Mitch Bolton got that one back in.
Benny looking a little bit scratchy today.
He is, but I mean, I guess he's in that position now though where he needs to get his 50. But not quite sure what that shot was there.
Dogger almost shutting up shop there and deciding he's just going to survive this Lukey Williams over.
Extra spice on that delivery too.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a bit of extra spice there. I think one of the things here though, as we've said, this end, so probably just in front of where Dog's foot is currently, is a spot that it stays really low. Good fielding there by Luke Williams.
Do you want to point out exactly where that spot is for Draddy when he's bowling later for the team that I'll be playing for?
That's right, cheating left-handers, we need all the tips.
Exactly.
You cheating left-handers don't need any more help, believe me. But,
No, they're not cheating when they're playing for your team. It's all good.
we've discussed at length though your tactics and those we've employed. Been trying to impart some on Andrew here, mate. For I think His worry, of course, is he's trying to employ your and my tactics at 20.
Yeah, right.
And not at 40 plus. So
It's all about practice, Pete. Practice makes perfect.
What, 20, the new 60?
yeah,
Absolutely.
that makes you and I about 140, doesn't it, Pete? I think. So
That's coincidentally a lot higher than your strike rate, 140, Pete.
this is true. This is true. 40 off 8. 40 for 4 off 8. Benny Broadhurst 30 off 16. Matty Webster 1 off 6. So
Could be
Zaru coming on to bowl his second over.
How many wickets are there now?
4 down.
4 down.
4 of their stronger bats down.
But with Ben Broadhurst and Michael Gronhout still in or yet to bat, you can never write off Pumpin Booty. That being said, I might have put the curse on him.
Yeah, I thought you had there for a second.
After calling you out on it earlier, it could be hard to live down if that happens to me.
Over the wicket again here, Zaru. Big hoik across the line there from Doggy. I think he's going to have to change his approach.
I think so.
I know his zone is some, from mid off to cow, but right now he's not. That's 1 off 7.
He's almost seemed to try and hit that one backward of square leg off a ball that looks several feet outside the off stump.
Yeah, he just has to get off strike and give some more of the strike to Bender. Let Bender get his 50 quick and then, see what they can do from there. Because
Give him the most chance to come back in.
I guess one of the big things about our format is that the last guy can bat on his own. I mean, that would actually, I think, really go into Booty's hands because while Bender can rely on his speed, when he doesn't have to hit every ball, I think he's got the opportunity to wait there and then just build that total. He can chase it down himself.
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the quicker runners between the wickets in this Booty lineup as well.
I'm not suggesting that the Booty should tank it, but I think that they've got to do a lot to get Bender up to his 50 as quickly as possible. Toad it.
You've heard it here first. The franchise owner thinks Booty should tank it.
Yeah. So I think when we go back to the review, you'll find that I didn't say that at all. So
that's what I heard.
Yeah.
The other interesting one is for YesNoWait. They've restricted them quite well without using Cabbage as a bowler yet. Cabbage tends to be a fairly strong bowler in this lineup. If he's not required today, then that's very much credit to YesNoWait, who Cheeks has put on the park here for this final.
Oh, Hayden Page slipped into the video. We missed him at one point. There you go.
Did Shivy pop in with him as well, or just Pagey?
Pagey taking the wicket of Shivnarayan Chandapal at the LMS World Series recently.
Yes. I believe the only reason Pagey's not here today is because we couldn't get clearance for Shivy to also play. He doesn't qualify, but does take up a permanent residency in Pagey's pocket.
Wind causing us a few issues here just with the tripod and the camera. But hoping that
weather's going to hold out for the rest of the day, which is nice.
Yeah, I think we should get lucky. I was saying earlier, Pete, that we're just glad that I'm not here in extra shirts, polar fleece, and a second jumper.
Yeah.
So spring-esque. We're into fake spring, maybe. Traditional
Fake
thing
spring.
here in Canberra. Comes down the wicket, punches that through mid-wicket. Oh, Cabbage, good coverage there. Ball popped on him.
Fairly safe pair of hands, Cabbage down the field.
That's a fairly safe pair of hands there. Ricky Williams bowling his second over. First over only going for 1. Just 1 there for Dog.
Brock fielding that one quite nicely. I see he still hasn't taken my advice and burnt that Scorcher's hat. I've been offering every week for the last 12 or so weeks to do the honours for him, but there's been no interest in it.
Hoik across the line, out there to Brock O'Brien again. Takes Ben to 37 from 20. said they'd really be wanting Benny to get his 50 before the turn. No, well, that's not likely to happen given this is the 10th over.
It's played quite late, quite well by Dogger to get off strike.
Yep.
Problem being that was the end of the over, so the Kiwi import almost farming the strike there from the more experienced batsman.
That's true, and 52 after 10. So we talked about this earlier. Their run rate's 5.2, obviously. The run rate's at 10.7. That's still in the hunt. That's still well and truly in the hunt.
That's 0.3 behind that 11 that Rob Stevenson spoke about at the World Series, but still doable with blokes like Snout and Bender to hopefully come back in.
Absolutely. So Matthew Webster has to move it along. 6 off 13, striking at 46, not good enough. 37 for 20 for Benny Broadhurst. Checking through the bowling figures, Axe 1 over, none for 12. Midgie Volta, 3 overs, 1 for 10. Brock O'Brien, 2 overs, 2 for 11. Kyle Zaru, 2 overs, 1 for 12. Lukey Williams, after sketchy with the bat, 2 overs, none for 7. That's a fantastic sort of return for his bowling.
That is.
And we've got Jono Miller coming on to bowl the first over of the second 10.
Funky Miller.
Yep. We'll get the live coverage going again here in a second. There we go for Dog, open the face.
Also, both captains have employed interesting batting lineups today. I would have thought you'd want Snouter a little bit higher up the order. Same with YesNoWait, having Midge down in that bottom 2.
Oh, that could be.
That
is a super catch. Oh, what a super catch.
Fantastic effort there from Midge Volta.
Oh boy, I tell you what, is that the game?
I think so. As harsh as it sounds, I'm probably riding Booty off at this point now. 100 to chase in that last 10. With Bender gone, almost seems a little bit too much, particularly given you haven't got that power hitting of Sammy Walton or Karpi left. It almost seems a little bit too much for the Booty boys now.
Well, I think, listen, I'm not prepared to write them off, but this smells very much like last year's final, and, you know, Snouter is going to have to 50 it up.
Absolutely.
He's going to have to 50 it up quick.
He's going to have to do it very quickly.
Absolutely. Otherwise, I think
Dogger's going to need to find some timing very
absolutely
quickly. Go check down in those reeds, see if you can find a hallucinogenic nugget that'll give you some timing.
Oh dear. Right, I'm over the wicket.
Oh, that's gone straight up in the air.
Oh, it's gone over his head. Oh, I'm not going to say that was intentional. 4 runs there, he's called it.
The question is, what was Kyle doing so far in from the boundary? Almost caught in no man's land there.
Yep.
Snout getting away with one off his first ball. Could be a sign of things to come, a lucky quick fire Snout 50.
So next season, Pete, you'll learn to deploy the drones for a bit of aerial photography?
We've done a bit of that already this year.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, we got some really good stuff from Yes and Nassim, and we're gonna put some of that sort of up towards the end of the comp. So
brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, and again, I think that one's going to be out.
Straight down Kyle Zaru's throat. Are you prepared to call it game over for Booty yet now?
I'm not prepared to call it. I'm not prepared to call it. There is still time.
Dave Sankey, big job for him now.
Absolutely.
You'd almost say you're definitely into the recognised bowlers now, but as Jason Gillespie would prove, you can't ride off the bowlers.
You can't ride off the bowlers. So, guys, things have been all happening here. Booty are now 6 down for about 55.
I believe so. Just exact score up for you.
We're in the 11th over here. It was really going to be
6 for 57 after 11.
6 for 57 after 11. We've now got Dave Sankey at the crease with Matty Webster. Matty's been having a bit of trouble timing the ball today, but this is it for Booty. These are the 2 guys that are going to have to do it. What's that run rate snuck up to, mate? I think it's probably over 11 now.
It'll be well beyond that achievable Rob Stevenson theory. It's gone up to 11.33.
So 11.33.
And they're currently tracking at 5.1.
So listen, I think there's no doubt that Dogger can bat. there's no doubt that Dave can play that anchor role at the other end. And now, if he can keep turning the strike over and Dog can actually start to find some timing, listen, I think this could be a match for the ages. But he has been struggling. The boys from, well, there you go. So he's just punched it out.
Key is going to be, will it be a Pumpin Booty miraculous effort, or will YesNoWait snatch defeat from the jaws of victory?
Well, that's true. Welcome to the coverage, Daryl Holmes. So, yeah, 6 for 50 odd. This is in the 12th over. YesNoWait well and truly on top here. Wide ball called there by the umpire.
Booty just try and bat for time and get their formats confused.
Yes, no, I don't think we're going to see that happening. But you got to think though, coming up here is Ronnie Sood hasn't bowled yet, and you know he has that potential there. Well played there from Dave, showing the experience in the game. One wide already bowled in the over. Lets that one go well outside left stump. So that's 3 runs.
The best 3 he never hit.
Daryl Holmes has a former player from up here. Down in Victoria now, working very hard on the cherry farm. Big swipe there from Dave Sankey.
Straight down to Ronnie Sood. Good Sood, as the YesNoWait boys like to say.
Yes, good Sood. That's right. They really are going to have to keep this run total. I think, and see, the dot balls are killing them. I think they've got to just think about heading. Let's start it. Let's try and get 6 off the next couple of overs, then trying to get those 10. Now, I know that means that things are still climbing, but you've got to keep the runs going.
Absolutely. These dot balls, they are killing them, like you say. It's becoming very costly, and I mean, as that run rate starts to climb to double what they're currently going at.
Ronnie Sood down there.
Ronnie Sood harbour bridging one of his own to let Dogger put one away for 4.
So that's well needed, I think, there for the end of that over.
Was that 2 wides and a 4 off that over?
Yep.
So that's 8 for Pumpin Booty, getting back on track a little bit.
So what are we looking at there, mate? Not much work today, and we prefer to be playing LMS. Well, we're the same here, Daryl, but we've got the joy of being able to commentate this Buhagiar RUOK Cup, supporting Lifeline Canberra.
We're looking at 67 for 6 after 12 there, Pete.
Compared to last weekend, Daryl, it was, didn't get above, it feels like a 1 degree here last weekend. I think we're sitting at about 10 or 12 today. So
Well, now you're asking me to get multiple apps going to check the weather and all sorts of things.
You don't need to check the weather, mate. That's a dot ball there from John O'Miller as well.
It's 16 here today.
16. That's unheard of.
That's a scorcher.
Fake spring, I'm calling it.
Well, that's a heat wave as far as LMS England would be concerned.
Well, this is true. This is true. Dave Sankey waving that chicken wing around at the front there. Comes forward. Oh, edge. There's runs. 2 runs. What am I doing? Am I commentating or coaching these guys? I don't know. I think there should have been 2 there. Matt should have been coming through, screaming through there for the 1 and then seeing what they could do. But
John O'Miller bowling his second over here. His first one going 2 for 5.
2 for 5. That's you take that.
You take that every day of the week.
Absolutely. So apologies for any wind interference on the phone for the live camera. There's not much I can do about that. That has gone straight up in the air.
Straight up to Jono.
Okay. That could be nails. That could be nails. That's 7 out now. Dave Sankey.
John O'Miller 3 for 6 now in this grand final off 1.2 overs. That's a fantastic effort.
It's a fantastic effort. So if you think about it though, 2 years ago, Booty dished it out to YesNoWait in the Buhagiar Cup final over at Hughes. While I don't think revenge is on the cards, I think certainly they've certainly shown that they're a dominant side here. Dave Sankey on his own now.
Well, for many years, YesNoWait have been sort of the form Sunday team.
Yep.
Very difficult to knock off.
Absolutely. Generally, they play twice a week during summer as well, and it was sort of a toss-up there in the weekly comp between them and
yes.
Yes, certainly more recently. One of the things now for this final now is that Dave Sankey's batting on his own. So if you haven't watched, watched much LMS, it means that Dave can only score 2s, 4s and 6s. So he doesn't have to run, but if he does, he can only score 2s and 4s and 6s. He can only be run out at the striker's end. I talked about this before. Ronnie Sood now coming on to bowl his generally leggies.
Generally.
I have seen him bowl a few arm balls as well, but
It's a
good flight. Yeah,
it's a good flight. It's a very confusing action to face, Ronnie Soods.
It is.
Certainly nothing illegal about it or anything, but certainly can be somewhat off-putting.
Absolutely.
A little bit like
lovely flight again.
a little bit like Dave Tromphey, who plays for the Polar Bears, bowling off the wrong foot and one foot still in the air and all kinds of things.
So it says we've got two people watching here. So Daryl Holmes is watching. I'm not sure who the second one is, so give us a wave if you can.
We've got Tim Wilson and a mate coming down past us. Oh, Brock and Midge making a meal of that one to knock it over.
Yes, Timmy Wilson there. Some of the lads coming in for the game in the afternoon. 2:22 against the Cougars.
I'm backing the Cougars in for that one, just quietly, Pete.
Cougars in. Well, we'll see. I think
They've got that firepower.
Oh, he smashed that. Is that the game? Oh,
No.
over the top. 8 runs.
Interesting fielding effort from Cole, sticking the hand up, but not quite getting airborne.
James Richards watching through a VPN in China. So it's coming through a bit lumpy. No, that's just us, James. Jimmy?
Fat jokes through the live stream.
Booty in a bit of strife here, mate, but he's 7 down for not much.
For 68 after 12.
68 after 12, chasing 159 to win. It'll be a massive effort for Sankey to do this from here, so I'm not calling it yet.
Surely if Sankey gets it in from here, the Booty boys owe him a case each.
A case each. It'll be more than a case each. If Sankey gets it home from here, I'll buy him a case.
You can feel free to do that.
Absolutely.
I'll just give him a crisp handshake and a pat on the back.
A crisp handshake and a pat on the back. Is that a euphemism?
Not at all.
Okay, good. Just checking. But yes, it's been a cracking day here. We've had potential hat-tricks for both sides. YesNoWait tracking for 200 but kept to 158. John O'Millo coming into bowl now. Stepping away, slashing outside off stump. A lot of room there behind point, so I mean it's not a bad spot to be looking to cart the ball down there, but
Not at all. I'd almost look to pick on Kyle down there at deep cover.
yeah.
He today hasn't been the strongest fielder for YesNoWait.
No.
Certainly, if you're going to look to hit through that offside, I'd look to hit closer towards him than Cabbage, because I dare say Cabbage will chase most balls down and isn't going to fumble it.
Sure will. Now, you can see it's a pretty glorious day out here today. As I said, compared to last week where it was freezing.
Pumpin Booty bringing the family and
charge
kids
down
down.
the wicket. Yeah, Booty.
Jacob's giving him. Caught behind.
Caught
That is
behind.
the game.
That's the game over. Well, congratulations to YesNoWait.
Well done to John O'Funky Miller picking up 4 for 6.
Yes, 4 for 6. My goodness. Well, you would think, well, it's going to be a tough choice for man of the match, but you would think that he would be right in the hunt there. Lads, it's been a fantastic coverage here for our Buhagiar Cup. Congratulations to YesNoWait. They are the champions for this year. They have beaten Booty convincingly. Fantastic effort, super support from both of these sides for the Buhagiar Cup over the years, and I'd like to thank Jacob Tumeth, sensational effort out there for umpiring today. Thank both these teams. Obviously they're coming out there now to congratulate each other, but also thanks to Andrew, your debut in commentary here for LMS TV, Canberra.
I'll be sending my resume off to Channel 7 and Fox Sports after this one.
Will you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Joshy Rossendale and Paddy Piani joining us.
The bad boy, Paddy Piani.
I think they've traded the rivets in, Daryl Holmes, just in the live stream there. So fantastic effort there from the boys. Great effort for Booty. We'll head down for the presentation shortly of the Buhagiar Cup. And join us again for next winter for the Buhagiar Cup. We're actually in 2 weeks' time. We'll have the Div 2 final as well that we'll film, and where we can we'll stream that. And yeah, fantastic effort again for both these sides. Stalwarts of the competition here in Canberra, always going out of their way to help us out. So it's goodbye from me for now.
Goodbye from me as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. See if you can get down to RMC for that Cougars versus 2 for 222/ADFA. I'm sure that'll be a classic this afternoon.
See you soon, lads. Bye.